here to talk about when you feel you're ready, but your brand is not, in the Brand Doctor podcast with Rich Kozak. Check out these rich strategy nuggets you can use right now. This is the Brand Doctor podcast with Rich Kozak. Here we positively uplift possibilities for your brand with straight talk that you can trust. Does your brand need more clarity? Or are you stuck at the starting gate of the next level of your brand? In any case, bring your vision and your challenges right here to the Brand Doctor podcast. Today, we are lifting up the brand journey of Dr. Mary O'Dwyer, Ph.D. She is the founder of the new brand, The Breath of New Life. Relief today, transformation forever. What a powerful brand promise. She's a food scientist and has been for years. She's also a certified transformational breath facilitator. She skillfully applies mixed modalities to bring relief and release for overwhelm and, get this, to bring individual joy back to life for people. Mary speaks to organizations, communities, and leadership teams. Mary O'Dwyer, I know that many of our listeners' businesses and frankly, their lives will be benefited by what they hear today on the show. So welcome, friend. It is great to have you here.
Thank you, Rich. It is wonderful to be here and lovely to see you again.
So Mary, you have accomplished so much and you've grown as a person. You know, born in Ireland, came to United States for your PhD in food science. A great job. You're applying all you know to problem solving for clients. You raising a family, you had it all. Like, what happened in your heart that prompted you to take your life to yet another level to help other people in the ways that your brand does?
Well, Rich, it's funny what you said. I had all of these things, right? Education, the family, everything. I had everything the world told me I should have in order to be happy. I had the husband, the 2 kids, no health issues, no money issues, the 2 dogs, the 2 cats, 2 cars, white picket fence. And this we had a white picket fence. And yes, inside I was miserable. And I can remember being on the phone with my mom one day and like in tears going, Mom, is this it? Like, is this as good as it gets? Because if this is it, I'm devastated. I mean, I did not know what to do with myself. And so I happened to be out one morning walking with a friend and keep telling her what I was experiencing. And she said to me, Mary, I think you're spiritually disconnected. And I was like, what?
What?
That wasn't what I'm thinking I'd hear. But one thing led to another. And, that those words had truth. And so the universe started to open up doors for me. And I discovered Reiki and essential oils, and I discovered energy work and transformational breath. And all I can remember about the flyer for the class was it was $25 and it was promising me peace and joy. And I'm like, I'm all over that, all over.
Wow. Boy.
Yeah. And I just had a life-changing experience and I became the groupie.
And now you're
transformational.
You it's like that old phrase, like, yesterday I didn't know what transformation breath was, and now I are one.
It was a game changer. It was 90 minutes that changed my life. I had no idea to what extent it was going to change it. I knew it shifted a lot, but obviously the last 10 years have been a trajectory I would never have anticipated for myself.
Mary, the most remarkable thing, well, maybe not remarkable, but the most powerful thing is that you experienced that feeling yourself of the overwhelm, of the, is this it? Of the, a full life wasn't even a full life. When you think about what it could look like when your brand is accepted worldwide as it's beginning to be, what is your vision of the impact you clearly see having on these individuals' lives?
I see people who are brave enough and courageous enough to take action. I see that this work could touch them in a huge way and help them to start living a more inspired life. Getting in touch with what I call would be, life's hidden connectors, I like to call them. So when we're working with clients, whether it's one-on-one or in a group, online, worldwide, or here in person, the potential and the possibilities we see for each of those clients. And we know that each of them has the possibility and the potential to live a completely inspired life. And we know that the work that we do here will bring them the relief and the joy that will enable them to do that.
Mary, I love your heart and I love the work you do. And I could listen to you talking about, I've read a lot of the testimonials on your website. It is remarkable. Even th- 7,000 miles away, you'll touch someone's heart on a Zoom call. It's amazing. What is, let's get to branding. I mean, obviously, our women of vision, imagining women and men worldwide whose lives are shifting to living a more inspired life. Praise God. So what is challenging when you think about branding the breath of new life? What
The
is,
church was so powerful, Rich. This work was really, really powerful. And we're getting such great results with people. And yet it felt like I felt like I was the world's biggest kept secret.
uh,
Why isn't everybody doing this? Why isn't there a queue out around the block for people, coming to do this work? And yeah, the brand was just not as powerful as the work itself was.
what I'm hearing is you were ready. The work is ready. The results are real, but the brand was not ready. It wasn't as powerful as the work. And I'm going to use a phrase that everyone listening here, I'd like you to write it down, falls flat.
Yep.
Most brands, big and small, fall flat, which means when someone says what they do or an ad plays, let's do it. I'll- I will tell you two quick stories. You're at a networking event. So this is your story, Mary and listener, and you say what you do. And somebody responds, oh, that's nice. That's falling flat. But wait, here's the other version. And that's not the other story yet. Here's the other version. You say what you do in a way that intrigues them and has what we call an intangible brand promise. And they respond, they tilt their head on the side like this, like a dog, where you go, Raleigh, and the dog goes, "Ooh." Okay. And they tilt their head on their side and they go, really? I've got to go, but can I have your card? Or that's what I want that. What is that? Okay. You at a networking event, huge difference between falls flat and in powerful intrigue. Now let's take a Super Bowl ad. Those are really expensive. Networking events, not so much. Super Bowl ads, really expensive. Big brands do it. They try to be funny. They try to do some stuff that you remember, but you don't remember the brand. You don't remember you don't remember the product. You don't remember it's not positioned well versus its competitors. So you say, I clearly prefer that. Now it's just like entertainment falls flat. Big ones do, small ones do, and you probably do. So here's the strategy nugget. I want you to hear this. Allow the impacts that you clearly see to give your brand its powerful brand promise. You heard from Mary. She envisions people worldwide living a more inspired life, literally having their lives touched. And did you hear her phrase? Embracing life's hidden connectors. She said it so matter of fact. I like to say, she has this wonderful Irish. I like to say embracing life's hidden connectors. I was like, I want that. What's in there? Okay. So use your impacts. Allow the impacts you clearly see making on people's lives when your brand thrives. Envision it and let those impacts give your brand its powerful brand promise. Write this down. Here's what I want you to do. Ask your heart, who, and I'm going to repeat it. Ask your heart. Don't ask your head. Heads,
When you're in your head, you can write lists all day long. I want you to ask your heart, whom you clearly see impacting, a type of person that you clearly see impacting when your brand is thriving. Look, we'll make it merry. Is it the mom who's 40 to 45 and she is just absolutely running on empty because she has a corporate job and she's a mom and she's a wife and she has to entertain at the next party and she is a member of the community and she's just flying on empty and she's just going through the motion. That was one of Mary's. That was she herself. And she experienced a transformation and now she'll speak to that same person. But she has several other people that she has written clearly on paper from her heart. This type of person, they're going through this. They just experienced a loss of some kind. They're at this point in their life. This isn't working for them. They're at the end of their rope. She has expressed it by writing down the type of person that she clearly sees, and I'm going to say in your mind's eye, impacting their life, and write those down. And then ask yourself, what are the highest level impacts you can see your brand having through your work, your gift, your calling, whatever you feel it is, on those people? When you do that, it is the most powerful step to becoming very compelling impact driven brand. And it will lead you to stating those powerful brand promises in intangible ways. Mary, when I look at your worldwide website at thebreathofnewlife.com, and boy, write that down because you really want to see Mary's website, thebreathofnewlife.com. There's a feeling, it's a positioning, like a personality and a voice to it. What have you done to make your brand ready and come alive for people? You were this local parochial, lady next door kind of, and all this, well, not all of a sudden, but you evolved into a global brand that can touch people's lives worldwide. What have you done to make your brand ready and come alive for people?
So, Rich, we use the steps to very clearly define and language the brand with clarity, making sure that it reflects our vision and our values and what we see possible for people, in our heart and our heart of hearts, like what we see possible for people's lives.
I am, you make it sound simple. Steps are steps. One comes after another. And just like, how do you eat an elephant one step, one bite at a time? It's like, how do you take a magnificent, huge journey? It's one step at a time. And defining a language of brand is like that. So thank you, Mary. I'm so glad you actually shared that. I'm going to tell a story. It's very quick. It's about a woman who came to a neurolinguistics programming master for help. She was way overweight. And he took her on a story. He said, she wanted help and tips. And he said, I spent a lot of time this weekend in my garden and tomatoes, they're amazing. The tomato knows exactly how much nutrition it needs from the soil and exactly how much of it knows how much water it needs. And as long as we put in the soil and put the water, the tomatoes take exactly what they need. She thought the doctor didn't help her, but she lost weight because her unconscious mind processed that. And she realized that that's what she needs to do. There are 4 things that make a brand come alive. This is your strategy nugget to get your brand ready and to make it come alive and not fall flat. These are the 4. I'll tell you a quick place to get them, but I'm going to give them to you so you write them down right now. Number 1, congruence. To be congruent with your heart. If you're out of congruence with who you really are, you'll always be in conflict. The brand's got to be congruent with its founder, with its champion, with what you believe in and what you see. Number 2, consistency across the board. How it shows up, how it looks, how it sounds, how it speaks, consistency across the board. Why? If an individual is not consistent and they do it this way, do it that way, you never know what to expect. Nobody knows to trust them. Brands are like that too. Consistency across the board makes it come alive, and it help people know what to expect. Number 3 is probably the most powerful one that you and we really impact. It's consistent language that transfers energy. So when I said Mario Dwyer is founder of the Breath of New Life, relief today, transformation forever, those words transfer absolutely powerful energy and an intangible brand promise that make people go, oh my God, I want that. What I need that. What's in there? The 4th is recognizability. Brands have a look. Brands are recognizable. You need people to know that this comes from this brand. So, but it's also the sound, recognizable voice in these years of audio branding, Clubhouse and podcasting. And so it's recognizability, congruence, consistency, consistent language that transfers energy, and recognizability. That puts you on a path to understand that it is steps and it is just a process. And that's what branding can be. And that's what it should be. The world would have you think it's something guru-ish that people have to slap on you and you have to become. I will tell you, the woman sitting in front of us here, Mario Dwyer, and I can see her, and maybe you can, or maybe it's just audio, but I'm telling you, and you'll see her on her website, the woman behind the brand, The Breath of New Life, she is the real deal. Her heart and her vision come through the brand, and it's because she followed the steps to define and language the brand before it opened its mouth. Mary, what a blessing to have you here. In this episode of The Brand Doctor, we've lifted up the brand journey of Dr. Mario Dwyer, Ph.D. Mary is the founder of the new brand, The Breath of New Life, relief today, transformation forever. Food scientist, certified transformational breath facilitator, skillfully applying mixed modalities, bringing relief and release to overwhelm and bringing joy back to life for people. Mary's a speaker to organizations and communities and leadership teams. You got to get Mary in front of your people. She brings a wonderful result to any group. And today you gain some insight into moving a brand from falling flat to coming alive and consistently showing up with clarity and the power of an intangible brand promise based in your impacts. And you insight into focusing the steps to ensure your brand projects those 4 things that make a brand come alive: congruence, consistency across the board, language that's unique, that transfers energy, and recognizability. You'll get contact information for our guest today in the show notes so you can take advantage of all her brand has to offer. And even more information is available just by emailing us at rich@richbrands.org. I want to remind you, the Brand Doctor podcast is dedicated to bring you strategies and actions you can take that will take your brand to its next level. So from our heart to yours, we encourage you to subscribe to the Brand Doctor podcast. Check out other episodes for the strategy nuggets and actions you can take right now. We'll speak to you again soon in our next episode. And remember, now is the time to define the brand you will become. Thanks for being with us.